Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here, New Life Pentecostal Church, Albany, Georgia. Hope you're having a great day in Jesus. We have the Michelangelo Bible and the Rembrandt Bible today. I've had these for months, and I guess just bringing them over from the place that I keep a lot of ones that we need to do or already have done to here, I just didn't do it because they're so big. And it is difficult to do Bible comparisons with such large Bibles. You know, Rembrandt, what is it? Rembrandt van Rijn or Dinge or something, I can't remember. And then Michelangelo at Sistine Chapel. I was telling Brother Mallory before we started, I always get Michelangelo, Rembrandt, and Da Vinci confused because art is not one of my giftedness. It was my brother's. My brother's an amazing artist. He could have been a professional artist. He went into writing, wrote for Walt Disney and Speed Racer, and then has published books and Discovery Channel and History Channel and on and so forth. USA Today, CNN, Fox and Friends and Geraldo and on. But that was not me. It looks like they both come with 3 ribbon markers. Both have the gilt edging, not art gilt, not red under, I don't think. We'll double check on that. But there's the 3 ribbon markers. So I may have to do these kind of separately for us to really get a look. Now you might be saying, why would you do a Michelangelo and a Rembrandt Bible? Well, the reason is because a lot of people, the Bible is a cultural thing. Let's say a lot of the WASP, Eastern establishment in a sense, and then people who have been educated in Ivy League schools and upper crust schools, they look at it and so they just kind of want the King James Version around. You know, Harvard University really pushes the King James Version. Harvard University Press, the Bible, you know, it says that it's like opens the originals to the reader and all of this kind of stuff, makes them transparent, is the word I'm looking for. And so there's a lot of people like that, and some people just like art, Michelangelo, Da Vinci and others, you know, like your Schaefer crowd, he was in the OPC, the Orthodox Presbyterian Church, which was a split off of, it was a double split off the Presbyterian Church USA. Presbyterian Church USA split, and I think, did it become what, the PCA, the more conservative? No, that's Presbyterian Church USA, PCI or something like that. And then the OPC was Schaefer. And so, yeah, it's not art gilt. So let's start with the Rembrandt edition, It's got the raised bands, 1, 2, 3, 4 raised bands, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little bit bigger Bible than the Michelangelo edition, but I mean, it is just sumptuously done. That may be a new word we're adding to the Bible descriptions here, sumptuous. You can just see, I mean, that's just elegantly done. Got to be sure I don't break the spine here. Has a good spine stabilization page. You don't want to pull that apart because that stabilizes the spine. Printers have determined. And like most good family Bibles, you know, it's going to have family reference sections. When my mother-in-law passed away in November of 2019, we were surprised to find she had put the births and the deaths in her Bible. It wasn't a family Bible, it was her daily Holman giant print, but she had done that. So let's take a look and see what is in here. It's got all the marriages, and it's just got gold. I don't know if it's gold all the way around. Looks like it had a little bug in here. Births, confirmations. So you can see that's kind of liturgical with confirmations, but it's just the gold as the light hits it is just, and this looks like it's really like almost military record, date of discharge, rank, all of this. Abradale Press, New York, which I am not acquainted with Abradale Press. The special contents of this edition of the Bible may not be reproduced in whole or in part without the written permission of the publisher. Abradale Press, 6 West 57th Street, New York, 19, New York. This book was designed by Howard Morris. The pages for the presentation section and Sermon on the Mount were illuminated by Fritz Creedle. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So let's see what we can get into here. List of color plates. Has several. Let's see how many color plates it's got. So it's got 8 in the New Testament. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 20. I want to make sure. So 8 and 22 is 30. And then it's got some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 14. So 44. And then list of drawings and etchings. So, I mean, and it's got dozens of drawings and etchings besides the 44 color plates in here. So when you get it, I mean, it's gorgeous. Let's just say that. I didn't see like a date when this was done. I bought this probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. I want to say they said it was from the 60s, but I'm not sure how they ascertained that.
16 is an integer 6.
Siri is trying to help us with the deal today, with the review today. We're going to turn Siri off. So that's what we just did with Siri. But again, this is larger than this one. Let's see what size print. It's good, readable print. This is something you could not only keep as a family keepsake, you know, and let's say you get this off eBay for 20, 30 bucks, something like that. It is, and this is in almost mint condition with 3 ribbon markers. It is a family heirloom, but it's also something that could be read as a family. Is that 11-point print? It looks like it's 11-point print, but it is clear print, no ghosting. The spacing of the letters is just fantastic. Let's see, it's got 3, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24, 28, 31 letters per line, maybe a little more than that because I started. It doesn't have in-text paragraph headers. It does have paragraph summaries at the top. It does not have chapter summaries before each chapter. Let's see if we can get one of these beautiful paintings or etchings here. These are etchings. Joseph's coat. What an amazing thing. And the time, when was the first photograph? Wasn't it like 1827? I was at the University of Texas years ago, probably 210, with Brother Carruthers from San Antonio. He graduated from their master's degree in accounting. And we were looking at the Gutenberg Bibles. I think they had 1 or 2 there of only 48 whole or partials around. I think we may have had 2. I can't remember. But they also had, at that time, the first photograph, the very first photograph that you could look at. And I was there doing some research, you know, for the holiness movement on movies. And they had an amazing movie museum there that talked about morality in the movies. So that was interesting there at beautiful Austin, Texas. So you can see it has lots of these. Let's see if we can find one of these 44 etchings. Several there. David and Goliath. Let's see if we can find one of these full color guys. Hannah and Samuel. That's interesting. Hannah and Samuel. So Rembrandt van Rijn, I think it is. But it's been years since I've studied any type of art. When I was young, Mom and Dad had a thing, the 100 most famous paintings with little things. I may do a review on it sometime because now that they're both gone, I inherited that. And I looked at that incessantly. but my brother got that gene. Okay, so this is 1648. Hannah and Samuel, 1648. So the traditional interpretation, which dates back to the 18th century, is that it represents Hannah with her son Samuel. The old woman has closed her Bible, removed her spectacle, and is lost in thought. So that's interesting. Interesting. So much, obviously, of art in those days was biblical in nature. Let's see if we can find, there's some more etchings. I'm looking for another full color thing. John the Baptist. This is kind of a mix. This is a 1636. This picture's always been popular. In Rembrandt's time, it was purchased by Jan VI, the Burgomaster of Amsterdam, which would have probably been a very Protestant city at that time, Amsterdam. I was just reading about a dude duct taped a banana to canvas and was selling it for 120 grand. And then somebody came and ate the banana. That's a true story. I know here at our Phoebe Putney, not to insult anybody, but like some of the big paintings they've got, it's really just like red clay pasted to the thing. And it's like, you know, didn't they determine that? Like, I've been reading articles like modern art's like a CIA psyop or something. I don't know. Who knows? I just love Jesus. That's what I know. All right. So has a very extensive map section in the back. It is not red letter. So maps of the Bible has 18 maps, which is more than you're going to find in most map sections. Let's take a look. Of course, it's not going to take the nation of Israel through any water coming out of Egypt, not even the modern Gulf of Aqaba kind of theory, which has some good credence to it. I just don't know. May be true, may not be true. I don't know. I've studied both, you know, and I do know the St. Catherine's, Constantine's mom kind of theory is sketchy. But anyhow, it has a great index to the maps. The paper's just exquisite. Okay, oh, and it's got C.H. Wright's Doctor of Divinity and Ph.D. Biblical Encyclopedia Concordance and Subject Index, which is 200 and well, maybe not. It's this is 204 pages. Is that right? Biblical encyclopedia. So that is really good. So it's got chronology of the Bible, summary of the books of the Bible, dictionary of biblical customs, complete concordance to the Bible, Hebrew festivals. Yeah. Now this used to be in like a lot of Bibles in the first half of the 20th century, especially. Maybe like the Teacher's Bible National, which I just had a good viewer, I think it was, that told me that National does the Gideon's publishing to this day, which I didn't know. I think I'd heard that before, but I just wasn't really sure on that. So this is the Rembrandt edition. So it's going to have incredible family record section, extremely readable. You could use this as a pulpit Bible. Wish I could remember exactly how much I paid for this. It wasn't much. I remember like one of them was like $7. And the other one was maybe 20. I don't know. You find them a lot on eBay. Now that was back several months ago. I haven't looked in a while. Okay, so let's see what else it's got. Bible reader aids, brief treatises upon and outlines of topics related to the study and understanding of the Holy Scripture. Look at this. How to Study the Bible by Dwight Moody, and then from Malachi to Matthew. You don't find this hardly in any Bible. How to Study the Bible by Dwight Lyman Moody, who really was America's evangelist. He was like the 19th century latter half edition of Billy Graham in America. I mean, he was huge. I mean, think about Moody Bible Institute, Moody Press, Pacific Garden Mission, all of these Jewish groups and their beliefs. It's Jewish sects, S-E-C-T-S. I don't pronounce that well, so I usually just try to say, Bible readers, aid strength and guidance in time of need, when you're afraid, when you're worried, when you need prayer, when you're envious, when you're lazy, when you feel that justice is not done. Items of information concerning the Bible. Now, this is always a good section here. So this says the middle verse of the Bible, Psalm 103:2. That is among the 31,101 verses. It's number 15,550. The middle verse of the Old Testament, 2 Chronicles 18:30. And the middle verse of the New Testament, Acts 7:7. The shortest verse in the Old Testament is 1 Chronicles 1:25. It contains 3 words with 12 letters. Eber, Peleg, Reu. The longest verse in the Bible is Esther 8:9 with 90 words and 426 letters. The longest verse in the New Testament is, anybody know? Anybody? Revelation 20:4 with 68 words and 284 letters. There's one verse in the Bible that contains all the letters of the alphabet except J. That is Ezra 7:21. So that's pretty cool. The 117th Psalm is the middle chapter. 2 verses, 33 words with 133 letters. So like Psalm 119, this is just amazing minutia in here. Psalm 119 is the 7th of Numbers. It contains 89, chapter exclusive of it. Oh, never mind. The 119th Psalm consists of 176 verses. And it has 2,445 words and 10,146 letters. So you just don't find that information. And that would probably be difficult, to Google. I would guess you couldn't find that on Google. I know that's hard for people to believe. But number 7 is the longest chapter outside of Psalm 119. It has 89 verses with 1,939 words. Only 3 chapters of the Bible contain as many as 80 verses each. So that's kind of cool. The 29th chapter of Job is the middle chapter of the Old Testament. There are 14 chapters of the Bible's whose contents are not summarized, namely the 11th to the 24th chapters, inclusive of the book of Proverbs. There are no chapter headings. These chapters treat the moral virtues and their contrary vices. The 21st chapter of Acts ends with a comma. 2 chapters of the Bible nearly alike. Now this is kind of cool too. The New Testament has exactly 260 chapters. Observe that this is exactly 5 times 52, the number of weeks in a year, and accordingly 5 times the number of Sundays in a year. By reading 5 chapters on each and every Sunday, one would therefore accomplish reading in the New Testament in just 1 year. Subtracting the 52 Sundays from the 365 days of the year leaves 313 secular or weekdays. Now the Old Testament contains 329 chapters. Accordingly, by reading 3 chapters on each and every weekday, beginning with the first weekday in January, one would complete the Old Testament on December 28th. 2 chapters only remaining to be read on that day. If it was a leap year, it'd be December 27th. So this is just amazing. Palestine, Jewish feast, festivals, the divisions of time, harmony of the Gospels, really good harmony of the Gospels. We've got some people editing the Premier Study Bible right now for the second edition that'll come out years from now. And they're like, they think they found an error in the harmony of the Bible, harmony of the Gospels. Animals in the Bible, trees and shrubs in the Bible, cultivated plants, wild plants and herbs, music and musical instruments. I wonder if a guy like Herbert Lockyer got this. I mean, they may have. Parables and miracles of the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, the Lord's Prayer, Rembrandt as a Bible illustrator, associate professor of fine arts, Harvard University. So Professor Seymour Slive selected the paintings, etchings, and drawings that are reproduced in this Bible and wrote the commentaries which appear on the reverse sides. I'm going to show you this Bible reader aid section about animals in the Bible and stuff. So this is the Rembrandt. Now let's head into the Michelangelo in just a minute. We need to measure this thing though so we can do kind of an accurate measurement. It is a family Bible or a pulpit Bible or a Bible at your church. Maybe you could buy it and gift it to your church. You definitely don't want to maybe carry this. It would be a workout though. I mean, if you're trying to exercise, this would be something. If you don't want to be ashamed of the gospel, carry this. Everybody's going to know you're coming. If they don't believe in the Lord, just Benny Hinnam there. No, I'm just kidding. So, don't do that. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. That's good. All right. So we saw the size of the print, 3 Bourbon markers. It is 11.6 inches high, right at 8.5 inches wide, and 3.5 inches thick, which is thick. So let's head over here to the Michelangelo Bible. This is the Great Artist Bibles. Has kind of the lamb carrying the cross on the front. I'm not sure if I showed you that. Now this one's got a little bit of a cracked spine on the back, but again, I didn't pay much for it. So this is a good one here. Let's take a look at Michelangelo. And it almost looks like, let's see if it's by the same publisher, because it's definitely got very similar as you open it. These red pages, but now it doesn't have a spine stabilization page. Red, white, and black. Is that like Spain or France or Croatia's color or somebody? I can't remember. But it still has that marvelous gold. Oh, just show you another shot of that. Now on this particular one, they cut out the first couple of things, and probably for privacy reasons or just to keep it, as a keepsake, because it is gorgeous enough to keep as a keepsake. Military records. So the exact same thing. Yep. Abradell Press. So I wonder if there's a Da Vinci Abradell press. This is manufactured in the U.S. 1969 copyright. 1969 copyright. Now this is a little more decorative than the Rembrandt. A little more decorative there. So again, at least used to, you could get really great deals. These would be good Bibles just to gift to people. See, if people wouldn't misunderstand, when you give people a used Bible or something, they tend to get really offended for some reason, most people. Because they're like, well, it's not even new. and they're not understanding the significance of it. But it does have the same top of page, each column, like a summary, just a one-line summary. The print doesn't look quite as big, but let's see. Yep, that is confirmed. I mean, yeah, it's real close. So paper's phenomenal. And the print, as far as the paper with no ghosting, none, the lining, the spacing, both up and down and between the letters is just perfect. This is one of the most readable Bibles I have ever laid my eyes on. It's that good. Let's see what the gutters and the margins are. This one looks like it has a little bit of good margin in it. Yeah, like 3/4 of an inch, half an inch. See at the bottom, 3/4 of an inch. Let's see if we can get the gutter measurement. Yeah, it is 3/4 of an inch. So, yeah, let me just show you this, because I know the first one had, I mean, just as far as readability, this is unbelievable. I know it's heavy, but this is type Bible would just be great to just sit and read. Eminently readable. Just fantastic. So let's keep going. I didn't see like a list of how many drawings and all this had on here. Here we go. It's the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel and another painting. Michelangelo. I've read some on that. It's pretty amazing. Him laying on his back for years. Just because the Pope wanted him to, kind of thing. And there may have been more to it than the Pope wanting him to. Let's just look there. Better not show Adam and Eve. A lot of nakedness here. The expulsion from the garden, the deluge. I guess everybody didn't wear clothes in the deluge. He drew a lot of, I'm trying to show some pages where people have some clothes on here. It is red letter. Here we go. This is, yeah, here we've got some clothed individuals, except for baby Jesus, still not clothed. But, you know, maybe that was just the time period. Fascination with the human body. I don't know. Maybe that was how the rich did pornography back then. I don't really know in the West. I don't have a clue. Let's see. Jonah, the Delphic Sibyl. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. See if we can find some more clothed people. No. So, keep this away from children. This is the Last Judgment. Boy, I wish I could show you that one. That one's pretty amazing. Death Rising, the Last Judgment. Amazing. Okay, here's some clothes. The Conversion of St. Paul. There's Peter getting crucified upside down. So let's just take a look at these. You know, as far as who I would choose, even though he did amazing things, like on the Sistine Chapel, Rembrandt to me represents a little bit of my flavor of art, which is highly limited. They say all the rich people, like that's how they're maintaining wealth. I read a deal, they said how you maintain generational wealth is property, gold, silver, and art. Property, gold, silver, and art are how you maintain generational wealth. But you know, I don't know. That's artwork. I don't know. Can you eat art? But can you eat gold? See, that's the deal. So It does have some beautiful maps back here. Beautiful maps. And it is red letter. I'll show you the red letter along with a map. Doesn't look like it's quite as big, you know, just the number of pages. It doesn't have the study helps in the back, that's for sure. But it is greatly readable. If you'd want to just do family devotions, teach about art, even teach your children. I know there's a lot of nakedness in there, you know. I don't have children, but the reading part is phenomenal. A lot of maps. Now it does have a little section, items of information concerning the Bible. It has all that, how to study the Bible by Moody, trees and shrubs in the Bible. It's just missing that big encyclopedia, musical instruments in the Bible. See, like a Lockyer in the All series, you would think that would be good. I'm just going to, for my own self, see if there's a difference in print size. Yeah, it does look like the Rembrandt is, you know, maybe a full print size larger. Like, you know, 10 to 11 or something like that. So let's measure this. It is, see, this one is only 10.4 inches by 8.4 by 2.65, it looks like. So just Arbordale Press, I don't know that they're even still in existence, just a couple of really great Bibles. The Rembrandt, especially those of you that like artwork. You know, my brother was just showing me a Frank Frazetta he donated to the Frank Frazetta Museum. Growing up, I loved Frank Frazetta, Al Williamson, Neil Adams. Those were probably my three favorite. I'm sure there were others as well. So just keep loving the Scripture. So God bless. I'll talk with you later in Jesus' name.